How's it going, guys? Back with another stream today. Gonna be running the list that I trovied with last stream. Just right back at it. Um, no changes. I don't think I want to make any changes, right? Because like nothing really warrants a change. So I'm just gonna not mess around. Just kind of just literally just play it back. Um, Let me just real quick. So I'm gonna do a quick deck tech again. Um, so how's it going, Mark Mulling? How's it going? Hope you're having a good day today. So I'm probably gonna do a little quick deck tech again. If you guys are new to my channel, you guys can go back. But I think I went to building Abzan with Luris with like a black green foundation. So it was with literally just splashing white for only Stoneforge Mystic and maybe one Path to Exile. Um, since then, I've been doing pretty well with it. I think I have like around like a 67% win rate over like maybe 20 leagues. Maybe I'd have to do the math. But like coming back from it, I think with the printing of Skyclave Apparition, I think we're gonna make a black-white based Abzan list and splashing only green for Tarmogoyf. Because like with Abzan Stoneblade, I think the real problem with that list is the lack of clock. Ooh, thank you for the sub. I really, really appreciate it. Hopefully this content is you're getting your money's worth with this content. Thank you again. I really, really appreciate it. Um, but like with the Orzhov Stoneblade, I feel like the biggest con with it is like there's no clock that's fast enough. Like you don't have like your creatures are Stoneforge Mystic, Tidehauler Sculler. It's just two powered toughness creature or two powered creatures that are like don't really get the job done quick and effectively. They kind of really rely on a sword, so that's why Tarmogoyf is in there to increase that clock, right? Other than that, since it's the double white base, Gideon is actually something I've been really looking forward to trying in these fair matchups. Since there's a notable exclusion of Scavenging Ooze, I'm main decking two spell bombs. And a lot of times when you play Lurrus, you kind of want more than four baubles because if you draw Lurrus, you need a bauble in the graveyard essentially to get the much value out of it. So you want spell bomb as like a bauble copies 5 and 6, and just instead of main deck graveyard hate. I had Hex Drinkers as a one drop that we can recur with Luris, and this kind of fills that void too. So that's kind of what I've shifted with this list, and it worked out well. So let's just see if we can continue with a bigger data set. Tiger Lily Love 101. I'm asking from Reddit. Let's get this read. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're also having a great day. Holy shit! Siege Rhino comes out when you sub. You sold me. It's also my follow notification too. There's subtle little Siege Rhinos in my stream. Obviously, my emote is my favorite battle. I wish he could fit too. Yeah, I honestly, I wish he can. I wish Siege Rhino was modern playable. I feel like if you have a format where Siege Rhino is really good, then you have a good format, right? Like people always complain. I'm gonna move the light. I think it's bothering. I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna keep talking. I feel like people um, complained about Siege Rhino in standard at the time. But then people oh man, like Khan standard was like the best, and it's like yeah, because a format where Siege Rhino was good is fantastic. And look at how Pioneer was when Pioneer first was at its inception, right? Like Siege Rhino was spec'd on, Siege Rhino spiked in price. Everyone thought Siege Rhino was gonna be great. Pioneer at the inception was great, and then right when the poacher happens and Siege Rhino was unplayable, everyone hated Pioneer, right? Like it's a common trend here. When you have a 4-mana 4/5 with trample that drains for 3 and that's good, I feel like the format is healthy. So I think Rhino just do enough doesn't do. Yeah, I agree, and that's what's sad because like as a 4-drop, you have to compete against like Jace. Against Bloodbraid Elf, it can compete in the sense that like it stonewalls it, but then you just lose the value game because like I felt like when before Bloodbraid Elf was printed, the Helix on the creature was kind of worth like half a card, but now with stuff like Ura in the format, it's just like the drain for 3 just isn't um, worth even a half a card. It's probably worth like it's just like part of the card that's not real card advantage. So it's like in that case, like Bloodbraid Elf just totally outclasses Siege Rhino right now. I cut Laris for 4-mana Nissa, and getting back Laris is a 5/4 is disgusting, but that's pretty sweet. It can't be bolted either. Um, I don't know how good the 4-mana Lurrus is. I'd be interested to see your list and your data on running that Nissa list. I know a lot of people have been really excited about it, like in the Jun Facebook groups and Abzan Raw. Just like everyone seems to be excited about Nissa. I don't see it because I feel like it has the downside of Omnath, where like you need to kind of cast it on turn 5 to get any not value out of it, but like to kind of get the most out of it. And Omnath draws a card when it comes into play, so it's like you can't cast it on turn 4, and it doesn't feel as bad. But -1, but one Nissa, -1 Lurrus. Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. I'm gonna just pull up Nissa. I always want to double check exactly so we can push and equip the lands too. Yeah, it's fair. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are missing like main lands on this list, and I feel like like this list is more low to the ground, so it's like you kind of can't really afford to come to play tap lands like this. You can fetch, so it's like it's fine. But like I don't know, it's like I feel like we can make a room for main land, but it's like I don't know. I was competing for Raska. You, I don't know. I really like the Gideons. I'm having two because like I feel like the last time I had Gideons, it just felt really, 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 really bad. Maybe it is correct to have a 1-1 split, but right now I kind of want to just see how Gideon performs just in general. I feel like Gideon's a lot worse in the list just because there's no Lingering Souls either. Like the emblem is kind of not as great. Um, I kind of want Gideon just to see how he does, because like I haven't played with Gideon in a long time either, and I would just want to see how Gideon performs. Gosh, we have like the Scry. I think we can just keep this. We have interaction all the way up too. It's like this is like a really, 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 really below average hand. Yeah, I don't know how good Gideon is against Dredge. I feel like, oh no. At least we have a, oh no. Is this turn 2 Blood Moon? Turn 1 Blood Moon? Oh, okay. That I'll take. Oof, I wish we were on the play, and if we can like exile this with the Skyclave Apparition, that would have been gas. I'm gonna bobble myself right now. Fatal Push. We don't want any spot removal. I'm gonna get a Triumph, and I'm gonna pass the turn. I also like the third Ashiok. It's just ooh, that's a good draw too. Oh no. If we had this in our opener, we would have been fine. That's kind of sucks. Well, they just turned 2 win the game, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, let's just screenshot this. So as Nexus of Fate to recur. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Anything interesting? It's a sort of unique version. So this version I've noticed on Twitter is getting a lot more popular online. And then, like, if I remember correctly, they just have a well, I think they have Belcher in the sideboard. This is just like their game one plan. Unfortunate. Unfortunate that we also revealed that we're Abzan. I don't know how much that matters. Yo. You got it. You got it. Magic is fun sometimes. Gaddock Teague seems good. Dabic Sphere. I think we just cut the spot rules at this point. I don't think the Ashocks really do anything. Just go off on their turn. They have Thoughtseize in the main. That's pretty gross. I'm assuming they're gonna have like Blood Moons in the sideboard, maybe. Just because they have like Pentagrams. Probably not. They're more black-green based. That's unfortunate. Probably board in ley lines. I can see like a Pride Mage coming because of that. Because I can like see like a Pride Mage coming in and like cutting. Maybe like cutting a Sophie or something. Like doing something like that. I think Ashocks are just too slow is my point. They don't like search for anything. I think I'm just gonna go like this. Unfortunate that we had the main deck Spellbomb when we drew it on the following turn. Very unfortunate. This hand seems gas. Hopefully they don't have a ley line. Hopefully we draw a green source for this Gaddock Teeg. We can go after the races here. Do note that like if they do have ley line, it shuts off no Spellbomb. Just FYI. His opponent is Cancer. I mean, it's fine. There's always gonna be combo decks in the meta. What are you gonna do? So they have the Belcher and the Balustrade Spy. So their hand is pretty absolute ass at this point. I think if they don't have anything, if they don't reveal anything too out of the ordinary, I might just play Stoneforge Mystic, and then our plan is to. Our plan might be just to play Gaddock at this point. Because, you think Giver knows as a 1 would be good? I haven't like Giver in mid range because like you need your creatures as it needs to be like a singular threat. You're not really protecting anything. Like even Luris is like I don't care if they kill Luris because like I'll just get the value back. You kind of want the individual creatures to be good on their own. That was my kind of opinion on Giver when I've tested it when it first came out. It might be different now. But like more often than not, like you need Giver to be like a threat, and it's just not a threat. Like even Stoneforge Mystic is just a threat, right? So yeah, that's the thing. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to sequence it here because if I play Stoneforge Mystic turn 2, I'm not going to be able to attack with it. But like if I play Gaddock Teeg, I play Stoneforge Mystic next turn. And then the following turn, I could equip the Gaddock Teeg with the sword and untap it, and then play Trophy plus Goyf. The problem is that too slow? So they have 4 cards in hand. Like the other option is I could like just Trophy now and try to get the tempo in. The Teeg actually does a lot here because so the thing about it is like if you kind of don't want to play Stoneforge Mystic first because you want to, if you go Stoneforge Mystic on turn 2, you're kind of priced into playing the equipment on turn 3. But then if you play and then you equip on turn 4, in contrast, if you play a threat on 2, Stoneforge on 3, you actually get 2 attacks in with the whatever threat you play on turn 2, and get the sword trigger in on the same turn anyway. So it's actually worse to play Stoneforge Mystic on turn 2 because if you're trying to get a sword trigger in, which is the goal here, right? So maybe the actual point is to play the Tarmogoyf, but then I think I want the Teeg on the field anyway, just to have a Teeg in play. So I think I'm gonna just play the Gaddock Teeg, just so because like I could play the Tarmogoyf because it's a quicker clock, but I think I want the Teeg effect in play. Because if I play the Stoneforge Mystic first, I'm not attacking with the Stoneforge Mystic, and I can't. And playing the sword doesn't help either way. Oh no. Oh, Talisman, that's fine. Okay. So now we're kind of priced into trophying here. Unless we draw exactly Thoughtseize. Ooh, Spellbomb's actually good too. So now we kind of have them locked at this point, I think. Unless they have like removal for the Gaddock Teeg. So now Spellbomb's a great draw. Belcher doesn't get around Gaddock Teeg. They can't cast Char Belcher with Gaddock Teeg in play. And then if they have this Spellbomb was a very, very lucky draw. Very, very lucky draw. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. So now we kind of need a 4th land here on top. But we kind of have a lot of time. So now they're just locked. Charbelcher is an artifact. It is not a creature. So they literally can't cast Charbelcher, and like this 1/2 combo here of Spellbomb plus Teak locks them out. Like they literally need a removal spell for one of these. No, it is not an artifact creature. So that's actually the thing where if it was an artifact creature, they'd have to wait a turn to activate it. So that's why they have whatchamacallit. So that's why I like Belcher's good, because if you have 7 mana, like that one ritual that adds 7 mana to your mana pool, whatever, like then you just cast Belcher and win the game that way. Excuse me. I think I just run this back. And this is my point with Ashok. Like Ashok would literally do nothing. Yeah, they're a graveyard based deck, but like they vomit their library into the graveyard in one shot, and you need to interact with it at instant speed. I'm not entirely sure how good Damping Sphere is either. Did we see yeah, there's Understanding Informer too. I don't know how good Damping Sphere is actually. I don't think Damping Sphere is actually good at all. Because they don't have any rituals for it, unless they have a bunch of rituals in the sideboard. I actually don't think Damping Sphere does anything. Because the Balustrade Spy is a trigger, and then they don't cast anything. Like, and Creeping Chill is not a cast; it's just an effect. So, I mean, I guess it stops the what's that like artifact creature that comes back when you sag it? Salvage Titan. Like it stops Salvage Titan, but like, I guess that's relevant because then like we can deal with Narcomoebas. I guess. I guess we boarded the Damping Sphere. I guess Solid Brightmaze is also better because it can kill their mana rocks too without ramping them like Trophy. So this is a great hand. As long as they don't like vomit shit into play. Ooh, they kept a 7. No Leyland though. That's good. Leaning on the white source is interesting. I don't think it matters if I try to play around Blood Moon. I don't think they have Blood Moon. It's not a green based Belcher deck. It seems more black based because they have Thoughtseize. I don't think they have Blood Moon. Because I feel like it would hurt them more than it hurts us. So we're gonna cast this Thoughtseize here. How's it going, Connor man? Hope you're having a wonderful day. They brought in the Nature's Claim. That's hella funny. So they have all the mana. So I think we just take this Belcher here. We could also just take the land. But I think the land is way too sketchy. Because if we take the land, right, they draw another land. They go Pentap Prism. And then the next turn, they could Balustrade Spy. So they let me think about this. They have the land. We draw turn 2. So if we take the Belcher, saw your list on Reddit is 90% the same as the first decade, but without netting. So like, thank you for the good luck. Really appreciate you for tuning in. So there's actually a lot of greedy lines we can take here. If we take the land and they don't draw another land, we can go turn 2 Trophy. Let me think about this. I'm sorry. I'm gonna ignore chat for a little bit. So if we take the land here, and if they don't draw another land, we can trophy them. They have no permanents. We go turn 2 and then we go turn 3 Stoneforge Mystic, get a Sword of Feast and Famine, and then just depending on what they have, we could hold up Kazgal the whole game, and then just stop them from Balustrade Spying. If we take the Belcher, they could just cast the Spy on turn 3. And we can't hold up Kazgal. So I don't think we can take the Belcher. So I think there's 2 options here. I think we take the Spy or the land. And if we take the Spy, they go Land Prism. We go Stoneforge Mystic, fetch Feast and Famine. They can cast Belcher here, and then we can trophy it. So, like, the Belch... So, if you compare the 2 lines... I'm going to message my opponent that I'm taking a while. I'm messaging my opponent. Sorry, I have a tough decision. So, like, taking the Belcher is the safer line here. Okay? Because if you take the... if you take the Spy. Because if you take the Spy, they go Land Prism, and then we go turn 2 Stoneforge Mystic. They go Belcher, pass the turn. We can trophy the Belcher, okay? But the problem is if they top deck another Spy or Informant, then we are also very screwed. So there's good and bads with both. We can go with the higher ceiling, which is just taking the land and hope they don't draw another land. If they draw another land here, right? If we take the land, they draw a land. They go Prism, they go Spy, and we are literally screwed. So, like, if we take the land and they draw a land, we're dead. So it's the taking land's a high ceiling, low floor play. How many lands do they have? They have, you can't even fucking, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, plus 3 guides. So 21, so 19 sources out of 53. So it's like a 35% chance. Versus if we take the Spy, they have outs to 4, 7, about 7. So 7. So, like, there's less odds of... Oops, sorry. There's less odds of them drawing the Spy. So I think it's correct to take the Spy here. I think this is a good what's to play. The rule is you should never trust chat. So I'm going to take the Spy. Because, I mean, I can see the argument for taking the land, too. It's obviously the more meme play. Because if you take the Spy... But if you also take away their win con, too. So it's like... Yeah, so I'd rather... Like, if we take the land... If they literally draw a land, we lose the game on the spot. So I'm going to take the Spy. All we can do is hope they draw a trophy here. Or just play the Belcher. Nice. So we'll see if they drew the land here. I mean, they are. But, I mean, that's fine. They drew the land. Huh. think I'm gonna ball myself. Go Brats, baby. I'm gonna ball myself here. I'm gonna hold up Kyle's Guile. And then, cause like if they draw, they could cast Belcher, and then it kind of sucks. But then, Godless Shrine. We do not want the Godless Shrine. We're gonna either cast Kazgal or Sword of Feast and Famine, so I'm just gonna get the Triumph. Cleveland love. Love to see it. Sure. You love to see that. You love to see that. Sweet. That was a fantastic draw. No, you don't need to do that. We're just gonna cast the sword. Equip Stoneforge Mystic. Attack. Discard, please. Talisman. Play the Goyf. Probably. I get what you're saying, target love, but I also just don't want to draw a tap land too. That's more reason just to draw it. They're nature's claiming their own Pentad Prism. Are you serious? That's awesome. You love to see it. Love to see it. Tarmogoyf. I'm gonna not cast this other Stoneforge Mystic, because if they have another claim for some reason, I'm gonna hold up Kai's Guile. So he claimed his own prison against the light. I'm assuming because he's praying for a top deck spot. Exactly. Which is why, like, there's no point in casting this Stoneforge Mystic. As long as we hold Kai's Guile, like, we win the game. And we have our 2-turn clock too already, so, like, they need to... even if they draw Charbelcher, like, it doesn't do anything. Because they need 7 mana to tap it. Singing Spirit Guide, nice. I'm just gonna keep this Stoneforge Mystic back. If they top deck the Spy, I want to see it. I honestly think I took the right pick with the Thoughtseize. I honestly think so. Because I feel like you can't. I feel like them drawing a land, you insta lose. Like, it's definitely a higher ceiling, but a way lower floor. Smart. I love it when you spam the emotes, Jeremy. It's awesome. Alrighty, off to a good start. Let's go. More of the story. I'm sorry, guys, but never listen to Twitch chat. Sorry, Carter Man. Sorry, Chip 6. Tiger Lily, you did say vote spy, so you do get some points there. Good job. But I honestly think I think that was the correct play. I'll probably post that on Twitter later and ask what's the take here, but I honestly think it was. I think spy was the correct take. Because like, if they have spy, we're kind of forced to like hold up Kaya's Guile for as long as possible because like they could literally be on 2 lands, but and theoretically no artifacts in play. But like we don't know if they're gonna be able to hardcast like the informant or the spy, just because like they have Simeon Spirit Guy, and like all of a sudden we can be caught with their pants down and we just lose. So there you go. With the redraw, a lot of one-man interaction. I think this is a keep. We do need one of our 14 green sources on the deck. Hopefully we're against Dredge. Fabled Passage, that's not a good sign. Is it a good sign? Or are we playing against like a Pioneer deck? Remand, Is it Charm, Omnath. No bueno. No bueno. I think we just have to take the Remand here. I don't think there's charm. Like, we need to kind of get lucky here. This charm isn't going to do anything. Like, I guess they can draw 2, discard 2. Green source. Damn it. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Green source. Not quite. Not quite. So now their charm is going to be kind of annoying. We can't even pop this energy because we kind of hold it for Uro. How's it going, Basic Land Shark? Thank you for the raid. Hope everyone who is tuning in from Basic Land Shark had fun with his stream. Welcome to my stream. My name is KO Diamonds. Actual name is Kevin. I'm known as the Abzan guy. All I do is play Abzan mid-range, so if you guys are into that kind of Thoughtseize Tormaglyph non-Jund Liliana deck, get with a little white love with Stoneforge Mystic, welcome to the channel. If you guys want to support the channel, you guys can follow me on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. I'm going to beat the Izzet Charm out. Like, I don't think this Feast of Man is going to do much. I kind of want them to not filter, which is why I did it. Can they cast this Omnath this turn? Ugh, this was rough. Tested the BWX. How was your testing go, Rounsley? And Basic Landshark, I tuned in for just a second. I saw you had you were playing Taxes. How did the Taxes League go? I saw you beat Storm. I think it was game 2. I'm assuming because you had like Rest in Peace in the side. So they have no white for our Omnath, which is kind of weird. Why they didn't just get the Fabled Passage? I guess they just want to hold up Remand mana, I would assume. It's hard to say. Get that around. Yeah, you kind of want to do the math, Jeremy or Martin, because like, do you have a second Greek stream? I have 14 green sources, Martin. So whatever the math is there, that's what I did. I think I have 2 P-lands and no, 2 clearings and no P-lands. I saw you draw the Ruined Halo, the turn that someone in the chat asked for it, which is pretty funny. We choose these. Can't hit 3/2. Land. Kind of want to pop this now. It doesn't need any arrows, which is kind of annoying, but some for just a good draw. I guess they're gonna play arrow, I'm assuming. I guess not. So let's stack this run down. I think I'm gonna place Tarmogoyf here, see if they're gonna have counter magic for it. And if they do, then it or not, okay. I'm gonna attack the Ren. How's it going, Last God? I'm gonna play Stoneforge Mystic. Sword and Fire and Ice seems decent. If they kill something, probably get the Sword and Fire and Ice. Get the land and pass. They're probably saving the Fatal Passage for Omnath, maybe? I'm not entirely sure. Will they have the Bolt? Sure. Yeah, but I mean, we already have the other Goyf in hand, so it's like it's okay. Kind of wanted to get the equipment in hand. So they could. I don't like Choke because this deck doesn't really care about Choke. From what I've witnessed, I mean, this game obviously is a different, says a lot otherwise. But from my experience, Choke doesn't really do anything against these kind of Omnath decks or Uro decks, to be honest. Okay. This makes me kind of regret pitching this because they have Field of the Dead. So we're gonna play this sword out. I might just hold this Triome just to cycle it. Chock full learning experiences. I really appreciate the kind words, Basic Landshark. I always appreciate you tuning into my stream too. I kind of want to just attack our opponent. It's like this run in 6 doesn't do anything. It's just like I have a 2-turn clock, deal with it. And at this point, I might just like play this other Tarmogoyf here. Like, just deal with the board. If they have Verdict, they have Verdict. But like, I need to force them to have Verdict here. And even they needed another white source? Sure. Sure. So now it's like they kind of need force negation. No, they can make a zombie with Field of the Dead. So that actually stonewalls it here. So have you tested Flare? Are you talking about Grimflare, Tiger Liluluf? Are you referring to Grimflare? Yeah, I haven't been a big fan of Grimflare lately, to be honest, which kind of sucks. We're just gonna make them have it here. Guess we just cast this. Bobble them. Lightning Bolt. Do not care about Lightning Bolt. It does hold swords well. That is a fact. I'm just gonna again ignore. Sucks that we pitched this. We just dumbingly just pitched the. Oh, that's a great draw. That punishes us for not playing this Triome out, obviously. They have Bolt, Breeding Pool, 4 unknowns, and oh, they have double Field of the Dead. Jesus Christ. The good news is they don't have anything else. So here I'm going to go into combat and see if they have Cryptic Command. And then after I declare attacks, I'm gonna attempt to path the Omnath if they don't have Cryptic Command. It's never a fluke, Fluffy Wolf. Don't say such heinous things. Don't. You're hurting my soul when you say mean things like that. So no Cryptic Command. That's good. And I'm gonna path here. They do get another zombie here, but I think it's fine. Force negation, sure. Sure. They're getting infinite blockers here, which is kind of annoying. I still think I'm holding this Triome. Of course you tune in when we just play against Blue Soup that we just can't beat. Like, this matchup is, like, really bad for us. Stupid. I was really mad that I pitched that sword. I'm just so dumb. All we can really do is hope they just have lands here, and they're forced to block with this Omnath, or they just have counter magic. And if they chump with this Omnath, then we are very live here. Okay. So gross. Field Death plus Omnath, huh? Sounds like a gross combination. You just gain 4 life every time. That's so bad. Targeting Opt. You got it. Seeing how we pitch the sword, which is kind of annoying. You can't really attack through these. You also could just also die in the backswing here, which is kind of scary too. I'm here, you will flood. Why is that your thing? You just flood? Are you flooding wolf, not fluffy wolf? If that's the case, just get on my stream, Fluffy. Get out. Oh my goodness. I don't think this is winnable. Fluffy, why did you do this to me? I might just right-click concede here. I don't think this is a game that I can win, honestly. Especially because I stupidly pitched the sword, like I said. I think it's actually correct just to concede here. I'm already behind on time. Light the ticks on fire. I mean, might be correct just to... Can't return Batter Skull. I guess I could just try to cycle this and just see what I hit. And we can just bounce Batter Skull in a turn. Sure, we'll just do this. We'll bubble ourselves. More lands. Sounds like a plan to me, deck. Sounds like a plan to me. I don't know if that's Fluffy special right there. That's what I call that deck. Crack the Earth, I think. Ooh, damn it! I wanted to trophy your Omnath. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! I guess we do this now. Because we knew they have Opt in hand, or they were gonna draw the Opt. Yep, all the zombies. Red-white lockout. Red-white turbo boom. They're close to ultimating too, which is unfortunate. Oh, they're gonna ultimate now. It's just kind of annoying. Which, make sure you're not taking down that Ren in 6, that's for sure. Spell Bomb. That was pretty clutch, I guess. Now they don't have anything to retrace. Are they gonna counter this? It's a lot of zombies. A lot of zombies. GG. Pitching, just walking that Sword of Fuse Fam into that, it's just trying to just literally just cost me the game. Unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? I'm kind of tempted to try all these Gideons do. Just have like all these sniper cards I want to bring in. Yes, I'll just blame you, Fluffy. You're just always the scapegoat for me. I'm sorry. I just easy just blame you. It's just the easy thing to do, and the correct thing to do is just blame you. You know, just how it goes. 6 more cuts. We're just boarding in like, well, literally like 2/3 of our sideboard here. I think Sword of Fire and Ice is actually not that great, just because I need both of my swords to attack through zombies. I think Liliana's are kind of mediocre because like we don't really want to plus them. They just draw so much card advantage. Like I actually don't like Liliana. That's where. So it's like as awkward as like you would think Liliana would be good against the control decks, but just like I just haven't been a fan of Liliana against like these Uro Omnath decks where they just like accumulate card advantage like nothing, and we just are just dead in the water when we're discarding our own cards. That's my opinion on it. I might be wrong, but I can see push staying in, but we already have like I don't want all these dead cards. Like we have these answers like Trophy already and Skyclave Apparition and Kaisgao. So it's like I'm not going to have a dead fatal push in hand. I'm just going to try to go under our opponent and actually disrupt them. Probably only board in 1 Lithium Blight. And then from there, what is Fluffy doing here? Someone kick him out. Where are my mods? Just kidding, Fluffy. One more cut. I guess I can just cut a bauble. Just have to just cut a bauble, I guess. Sure. It's out of love, Fluffy. You know it's out of love. You know it's out of love. I'm gonna bauble myself. Take advantage of the scry effect. Kind of want a 3rd land. Forest. I'll keep you Forest. Growth Spiral. Nice hand. This is a hand we can get under them. That's for sure. You're evil, Fluffy. You are pure evil. I got a Godless Shrine. Get the Triome. Forest. Hopefully their hand is just blanks. That'd be very nice. I'm gonna just cast this Luris. If they like mana leak it, then like there's a creature in the graveyard for this Tarmogoyf. Attack. I'm gonna crack the bauble, so my Tarmogoyf stays big. is a charm. That's unfortunate. They're gonna kill our Luris. Sure. Probably gonna is a charm or Luris. Oh, we need a double white spell. Come on, let's go. They need to kill us now. Yep. Where's our... Sure. Where is our white? Thank you. Attack the Wren. Get that nonsense out of there. We got another Godless Shrine. Big Boy Gits has entered the building. I haven't had cast Gideon in so long. This makes me so happy. Vesperlark? What kind of atrocities are you working on? Uh-oh. You have Field of the Dead. You got it. I guess we just play the sword. Equip. Attack. Make a soldier. Protect the Gideon. Put the sword on here. So let's 8-13. I could get them down to 1 life. I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, I could attack with all and present lethal. They just block the Gideon here. Yeah, I think I like just plussing Gideon and attack. You smash. Sweet, yep. Bring back my Luris. Thank you. Welcome back, Luris. Yes, I would like to gain 3 life. Be the Rhino. Sweet. Gideon, let's go. The value. Alrighty. Can we steal game 3? That is the question. I don't think I want to change anything here. And as you see, like, someone asked in chat, like, why do I board up Fata Push? That's why. Like, like, that's... You don't, want removal stuck in hand. Because you already have, like, the trophies and the guys that you're holding up. You don't want to be too reactive. We are the aggro deck in this matchup. So you don't want to just convolute your deck with too much removal. That's why you're boarding Gideon. Oh, this hand is just so close. No. On the draw. Martin, you're giving your just to say keep. On the draw, I know. Oh, I'm not gonna draw my second land, and I'm gonna tilt off, and I'm gonna just cry in my corner and just die. You keep Fluffy, you're here, right? I should be drawing lands. Like, that's the thing. That's the deal we made, right? The real question is, do I fetch white or green? And I think I just fetch white here. Ed D. Do, thank you for the follow. Really, really, really appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the Abzan content. Hope you guys are doing well. Sure. Fluffy, don't draw a second land this turn. I hate you. I think we just take the Veil here because we have to. This hand, like, we have the tools to win this game because we can Thoughtseize the Cryptic and slam an Ashiok, and they can't Hour Promise. So it's like, please, 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 Fluffy, I hate you. Yeah. It's just like, do we Thoughtseize here still? I think I kind of want to get the Spell Bomb down. Yeah, I kind of want to play Spell Bomb here. I agree with you, Barton. Because, like, we still have another turn to Cryptic Command. Yeah. Unless they Growth Spiral. If they exact Growth Spiral, we know 4 of the 5 cards. If they have exactly Growth Spiral, we are kind of screwed. And then they can kind of Cryptic. But even then we just Thoughtseize them. And I guess they can Hour. I still think I like just playing the Spell Bomb here and passing the turn. No Growth Spiral was very clutch for us. Please. Thank you. Thank you very much. What the fuck? Okay. Okay. You got it, buddy. This is all yours. It's all yours. Nice double lightning bolts with no red source. I just take the Cryptic. I'm gonna end a turn, crack the Spell Bomb here. Oh, fuck. I should have done it main phase because now they can just fetch this back. Fuck my life. No, but then if they put it on top, we can fetch with Ashiok. We can just mill them, so it's not the end of the world. Yeah, but if they do that, I mean, it kind of incentivizes us to slam the Ashiok. Oh, they need 3 lands. Ah. Good point, good point. Okay. I mean, we just slam Ashiok. And then they double bolt. And then we just slam the other Ashiok. Ashiok is not a Blue Mage card. Let me tell you that much. That is absolutely false. That was a good draw too. Excuse me. I'm gonna get sort of Light and Shadow here. Just to do we want them to discard? That's the question. Yeah, I think I want to get Feast of It. But the thing is, like, I also kind of want to get sort of Light and Shadow because if I have 2 creatures in play and an Ashiok, and they're kind of incentivized to spend 2 bolts on one of them, and in that case, I can get sort of Light and Shadow, and it can bring back Like if they bolt the Stoneforge Mystic, I can just bring back the Stoneforge with the Sword Lightning Shadow. And if oh, they do have Periphery Nodes. You're right. You are correct. So let me get Feast and Famine. I think you're right. Okay. So that means this Ashiok is going to stay around, and they are not going to. Sure. So they have Bolt plus Hour. On their upkeep, I have to sack a creature. Excuse me. I think I'm gonna play this sword out though. Probably play out my hand. Sword plus Spell Bomb. It's kind of eerie, like playing into open mana here, but yeah. Oh, I should have sword equipped. You're right. You are completely right. That was a punt on my end. That was a punt on my end. I wasn't expecting this Goyf to live, to be honest. To be honest. Like I didn't think I'd been a good attack through, but that's a punt. So you want to dual Ashok, you say? Sure. Yeah. Yeah, that was a punt on my end. That was a punt on my end. So now they're going to end step, bolt the Ashiok. So am I incentivized to play this Ashiok here now? Because they're going to bolt my Ashiok and then untap. Oh, they don't have another bolt. You're right. You are correct. But this play makes it seem like they have another bolt in hand. It just doesn't make sense why they would just bolt the Ashiok down to 2 unless they had another one. So I kind of want to just cast this other Ashiok here. So I might just mill them and then... Or I could actually just mill myself too. No, I just mill them. Yeah. I think that's the line. We mill the Fill the Dead. That's actually pretty big there. Because I think they only run 2. Keep this one. The one with the higher loyalty, thank you. Yep. So now I read Bolt, right? So I kind of want to crack this clearing. Just to get a redraw. The only way we get punished is if we draw Batter Skull. And we can't hardcast it. Which I think is fine. Like, we'll get there anyway. But I kind of want to just, like, draw into a threat. Because I think, like, we are at parity here. Like, we just kind of want a threat to equip the sword to. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. I think we just steer the course. We just probably just end step. Just Kaya's got him. I could also just wait a turn and try to entwine everything, but I don't think it matters because like it doesn't do anything. Sure. Yep. I don't want to spell end a turn. It's just like I think I kind of want to just make a 1/1 here and gain 4 life, honestly. But then we don't have and we have a removal spell for Uro if anything. So I think we just do that. And if they have Bolt, they have Bolt. Because like we're not gonna be able to entwine it close because we can't fetch with this Ashiok. I kind of want to hold this in case they draw the other field. Okay. That could have been worse. Yeah. Not the end of the world. Where do they mill off us? That's a real question. Yeah, that's not happening. Double trophy. And this is what I was talking about, where when we just draw 2 reactive, that's just where it gets pretty bad. "21 cards. Our Goifs are gone. I guess we just exile the Ashiok? I guess? What's gonna suck is they're gonna bolt it, and then they get a 3/3. I don't think I want to cast this Apparition here, because then they can just attack this Ashiok down, and then we can trophy it. But like trophying is just so bad. I kind of just want to hold off. I don't want to cast this. I think I want to hold off on the Skyclave Apparition. Because like the Ashok's are almost like just depleted anyway. I think it's best just to pass the turn. Of course. Of course. Kind of just want to hold back still. Yeah. That's fair. That is indeed fair. I kind of want to play this and not equip, though. Because... oh no. That is not good. So if I did the math right, they should only have 1 Field of the Dead. In which case, I can just Lithoform Blight it. Yep. Yeah, but now they just have a bunch of zombies, so this Ashiok isn't really going to do much either. We're kind of priced into like apparitioning the Ashiok. Thoughtseize. I think we start off with lighting the field just because we know, just so we know what we draw. Triome. Now we need to just start like blocking these guys though. That's the problem. We just take 6 on this attack. I'm gonna play the Triome here because we're gonna need the mana. I don't see an out from this. I think we just need to cast this Apparition. As awful as that sounds. And maybe Thoughtseize here. Okay, so either way they're gonna kill our dude. So I guess make them. They still get the trigger. I'd rather just get the card with the Lithophone Blight. They get the trigger if I destroy it on the stack. It doesn't matter. So now, we're out here is like top deck Batterskull out of all things. Yep, GG. I think that turn I didn't equip the Tarmogoyf was a big punt there. We could have Kai's got an upkeep, made a spirit, sacked the spirit, and then they would have been 7 life lower, and we had another Tarmogoyf attack in. I think that literally cost me the game. Oh well, just gonna move on. Brush it off. Tough matchup too, so what do you do? I definitely think we had chances to win that game if we didn't punt it away. What do you mean trophy the Triome? What do you mean by that? They still get to search. Luris. Interesting. On the play, I'll keep it against Luris deck. Are you talking about trophying their Triome or our Triome? Because we can't trophy our Triome, and they still get to search if we trophy them, even if it's an Ashok, because the Ashok stops their abilities, not ours. Yeah, I should have counted. I kind of just assumed that my Goyf was gonna die, so I kind of want to make more be more optimal with my mana, but that was just a punt. That's a fairly big punt on my part. Marsh Flats, interesting. Oh, okay, just gonna Thoughtseize me. What? 8 rack? I'm gonna discard this little Leon. And probably just discard the sword after. I hope so. I hope we have game against 8 rack. Not having Lingering Souls kind of sucks. I love your little raps, last god. Appreciate it. I would like a bubble with that Luris. That would be great. I think I just get Batterskull here. Threaten them to have a removal spell. Or like make them use a Fatal Push. If they have Smallpox, that sucks, but sure. You got it. Just have a lot of cards in hand too. I'm not gonna play this sword out, I don't think. Yeah, I agree. I honestly think we maybe have a higher than like 75-80% chance if I played that correctly. I'm gonna not yield to that though. So they didn't have Smallpox. I think I want to force the issue again and just cast this Luris. It's very, very greedy. But like, I think getting this clock down is good. Like, them dismembering Stoneforge Mystic just means they don't have smallpox. So I'm gonna just play a Snake and Laris out. Hopefully, they don't have another removal spell, because them using Dismember as the first removal spell says a lot. Laris, yay! Laris is so good. They conceded the match. Okay. Sure. How about that? I mean, I guess Luris is just, super overpowered. Martin, you should play Luris. People just concede to Luris. Which is kind of unfortunate. I think if I had played that, I kind of want to watch that video, the VOD again. Let's just go back. Because that match just wasn't a non-match. We just cast a Luris on turn 3 and just like they just conceded the match. But whatever. Oh, this is the hand that we kept the one lander too. Can you imagine like that? Like if we had to draw the second land too, like right here, like we would be in such good shape too. Because like this Tarmogoyf would just beat down, and I think they would have just died to the Tarmogoyf. Honestly. The Ashok is just so good too. The Ashok kept us in the game. Like, literally, like if we didn't have the Ashok, we would have just been dead in the water. Just that search ability is just so good. It makes me want to try like instead of having the third Ashok, it makes me kind of want to have like an Ava Mindsister or something, just to have something that can carry a sword. So here, this is the turn, I think. So this is the punt. Draw the land. This would have been 7, so you would have gone to 12. We would also go to 7 too. So that's the thing, is if we shocked and played out the sword and equipped, we would actually go to 7, and then we literally can't use this clearing anymore. So we'd have to gain 4 and make a 1/1, so we don't die to double bolt. So they'd go to 12, and then we make a 1/1. Okay. They play the Ashok, which is nothing. And so we have the. Let's say we sack it. We equip the Tarmogoyf and attack. Well, they have the Ashok too. So Tarmogoyf would be a 4 power. So they go to 8. We could also just trophy the node too. So we trophy the node, and then take another point of damage. So they'd go to 7. But they could also just double bolt the Goyf too at this point. So they'd be at 7. Ashok doesn't matter. And then the node would. So then we'd still have the Goyf. No, but the Goyf would die to the double bolt. So they have the Cryptic. I don't think we still would have won that game. Yeah, 2 discards. So they probably discard the Hour. That's true. Yeah. They probably would have pitched the Hour. Pitch the Hour, and then. But then they top deck all these cards, and we would trophy them. So yeah, so it really depends on what if. So they would double bolt or Goyf, right? So then like they would be hellbent, and we'd have nothing. And this is where you could draw all this removal. So they wouldn't have the bolts for the Ashok to hour us either. So then they wouldn't win. They wouldn't necessarily be ahead here, but we wouldn't be ahead either. So we would actually play a lot more Magic at this point. Because we actually see their hand here. So you have like Growth Spell, Is It Charm. So like actually if they drew the Is It Charm early enough and we took the line of equipping the Goyf, which is probably correct, if they drew that Is It Charm early enough, we might have just died to it. Because they would just deal 8 and we would be at 7. Even if so if we gain the 4 life, we'd be at 6, go to 10, 6, 8. So we'd be 2 short. So we could be at 2. But then they wouldn't have these zombies. We would play a lot more. But they would have like Is It Charm in hand and a Growth Spell. So their hand's pretty blank. I feel like Apparition only in a deck where you're trying to put your opponent behind a turn, but in this deck I feel like you're I think what makes Apparition so good is when you violate on top of something. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where like this is the situation that I was kind of scared about with Skyclave Apparition, where it would be an empty board and you're trying to be the aggro deck, and you kind of don't want to play this out because it's just a naked card. It's like a 3-mana 2/2, just feels really really bad. You want to be able to exile an Uro or an Omnath or something. But that's the flip side of the card, right? It's like the fact that this card is so versatile. Like the last stream I did, I exiled a Karn, the Great Creator, and it's without ramping our Amulet opponent. I think that's huge. So I think you take the good with the bad, and I think that's why I think 2 Skyclave Apparitions is the right number. I don't think you want more than. I don't think you want 3 more because of the reasons that you said, Tiger Lily Love. I think you're correct, but I think this card is still good enough for mid range where like you want this card that is a versatile removal spell. Like if you want more cards that can answer like Ensnaring Bridge, Jason Mind Sculptor, Teferi, that you don't have that doesn't ramp them, right? So I think 2 is the perfect number. The perfect number. The more I play with the card. I think it's one of those things where like you want 2, and then you can round out the rest of your removal, so you have like 2 trophies, and a few push and a path. I agree, and you can equip, and I think that's the thing. It's an Assassin's Trophy that you can equip too. I don't think you want more than. I mean, I can see an argument for having a lot. I just don't. I personally don't think 3 is the correct number. To be honest. You guys can keep chatting. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick, and then we're gonna finish off the league. I'll be right back. I agree with that. We're gonna try Even. The thing is, like, I don't know if there's room for Even Mind Sensor. I know, Devlin in the chat. He is one of my buddies that I theorycraft a lot with. I think we theorycraft almost every day about Abzan, which is great. But I think he is on a 3rd Ashiok over the Damping Sphere. I kind of keep it Damping Sphere just because I don't want to be naked to like Amulet, and I think it has a little bit of splash damage against like Belcher and stuff. The one that has like the rituals. And it kind of de-synergizes with Luris because of Mishra's Bubble. So I can see this being anything really. I kind of just threw this sideboard together the last stream. I just like Damping Sphere just in general. So just trying that. But if I could try Even Mind Sensor over Damping Sphere if I really, really wanted to. I don't think I like 3 Ashioks. I think it's just like when you have too many of them, it's kind of iffy. So maybe this can just be a third Mind Sensor. I could try out next league if I think it's that great. What about the new Archon? The Archon's kind of cool too. I don't. But the thing about the Archon is it also hurts us a lot. Where are you? It's the new Archon. I don't remember what the full name is. It's the one that like you can't play 2 spells a turn and non-basics come into play tap power here. It's the first one. Can't see. Each spell can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. It hurts us because of Mishra's Bauble again, like I said. Like Damage Spear is annoying with Mishra's Bauble, but like this one actually like stops the Stone Cold. So I actually don't like Archon on the list because it hurts us a lot actually. And you can get them. Yeah, the thing about it is like I think I've tested a lot of Even Mindcester before, and every time I casted Even Mindcester, they always had, they always found what they needed on the top 4, which is very annoying. But that's Magic sometimes, right? But yeah, let's just start the next match, and then I'm gonna go to bed early because I had a long day at work, so I'm kind of tired. But I appreciate everyone for tuning in. We're having decent amount of viewership today. If you guys want to support the channel, you guys can follow me on Twitch. I would really appreciate it. For you guys watching this on YouTube, you guys can follow me on twitch.tv/KO_Diamonds. You guys can follow me on YouTube for my old Abzan content. And then last but not least, you guys can follow me on Twitter. It's KO_Diamonds with the 22 at the end of it. So it's twitter.com/KO_Diamonds22. That's where I post my up-to-date stream times, my YouTube videos, etc. So if you guys want to support the channel, support me, please follow me on those media outlets. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much. What do you think about would push Abzan into meta? What does this deck need to go bonkers? Honestly, I think it's one of those things where it kind of depends on the rest of the meta, to be honest. I think Abzan has a lot of powerful tools. Like, I think Stoneforge Mystic is very powerful. I think Lyris is very powerful. I think it's one of those things where, like, when they start power creeping the shit out of the rest of the meta, Omnath, for example, Uro's a great example of this, that's where we fall behind. Like, stuff like the tools that we have, like Lingering Souls, etc., it just isn't good anymore, right? So it's like, we kind of need them to stop power creeping, and our deck is actually fine, in my opinion. If you're watching now, thanks for the kind words, last guy. I really appreciate it. So our opponent revealed Lyris. Swamp. Our opponent revealed Swamp, so that doesn't give us any good info at all here. I wish we had a fetch land. So we can. Okay, so it's just aggro. We're gonna take the Swiss Spear here. So we have the Swamp, so we're gonna know all the information. Anafenza the foremost. I've never liked Anafenza. I feel like it's just too vanilla. 3 mana 4/4 doesn't really do anything. It's just too vanilla for me. I think it's better in decks like Lingering Souls. I'm gonna play this Temple Garden tapped and just push our opponent's Soulscar Mage. I don't know what Yashern does. I'm gonna have to look that up after this match. Let me focus on this match. Good old black-red prowess. I'm gonna push this. So we know 4 of the 5 cards. They probably push our Tarmogoyf here. So I think the best use of our mana is just to play the sword out. And then if they spend 3 mana to bring Lyris in hand, we can Goyf plus equip this Sword of Bees of Famine. Please return Lyris to hand. Please return Lyris to hand. Yes. Thank you. So now this Goyf is going to be pro-black. Nice Fatal Push, nerd. We also have a push for our own. It's pretty decent. Didn't expect that one, huh, buddy? So they have Lyris plus the 4 cards revealed here. So they have 1 unknown. They could lure bring back Soulscar Mage, but like that's kind of whatever. Sunbay Canyon, sure. Sure. We could go ham here. Since we drew the other removals, well, we could just like path push and just attack. We could also just path this Luris, attack, and then if they like, I don't want the Goyf to shrink, so I kind of just want to just kill everything, because I don't want them to like dart my Goyf and then like bolt in response. So I think I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna path the Luris. I'm gonna attack first. No, I should push this just to get damage in. So let's do that. So I'm gonna push the Soulscar Mage, get damage in, and draw a card. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, let's just do that. I'm gonna draw with the trigger on the stack, of course. Hopefully we draw something nice. That is not something nice, but we can always cycle it. Yeah, so I'm gonna cycle that end of turn. I don't think I want to play this out. I could always just cycle it and then see what our opponent does, because they just have Lava Dart, Fatal Push, and whatever. Doink. Take the 2. Take the 2. And this Triump's nice because if we get this attack, if we get the untap trigger in, we can cycle with the trigger on the stack. So we kind of get like a free draw here, which is nice. I've cycled this Triumph a lot today, which is good. Sure. They've also been flooding a lot. Draw Thoughtseize. Bobble. Okay. Sure. They target themselves. I'm gonna push them. Push you. GG. Sweet. Sweet. We just keep giving me the removal. Thank you. Just keep at it. I really appreciate it, deck. Thank you so much. Explosives is good. Kaya's Guile is absolutely fantastic. I think Sword of Light and Shadow is really good. Cuts. I think we just cut the Thoughtseizes here. I think I kind of want to just swap the Sophie for the Light and Shadow. That being said, I can see like trying to plow through all the red creatures. It's awkward. We kind of want to keep all the equipment, which is like really fascinating. I feel like keeping in all the equipment is just wrong, though. I feel like it's just kind of too clunky. I think I just swapped the Feast and Famine for the Light and Shadow, actually. Because the green doesn't matter, but the trigger is we get to gain 3 life. I think that's, and bring back a potential creature that's been fatal pushed. I think that's more valuable. So we need to make one more cut. I could see like cutting a veil on the draw, maybe. Excuse me. I like veil on the play, but on the draw with less discard too. Maybe cutting one veil seems fine. I could also see cutting an apparition too. It seems fine. Go like this. Try to be too congested here. This goes here. I really wish they had the judge sort of light and shadow. It makes me kind of sad. Because, like, sort of like, they have the judge foils here. Why isn't the thing coming up? Oh, it's because I'm in the stupid game. Resell filters. I feel like I want I want the judge sort of light and shadow. Because it doesn't match with these guys, and I have all three judge versions in real life, so it's like, this doesn't look appropriate to me. 3 lures is definitely not too greedy. Lures is just so powerful. It just takes over the game. I honestly don't think it's greedy. This hand is, like, not that great, to be honest. They target themselves. So they don't like the card that they have on top. Oh, they don't play anything on turn 1. That's great for us. I don't know how much I want to play around Blood Moon. I think I'm going to play Swamp. Trying to figure out if I want to fetch basic Swamp or basic Forest here. Just in case they have Blood Moon. I think it doesn't hurt too much. It's just a matter of if I get basic Swamp. I think if I get basic Forest here, I can't turn, and I get basic Plains for Stoneforge Mystic. I can't cast Liliana. But if they have Blood Moon, I can't cast Liliana anyway. I think I'm just gonna get basic Forest here, just so I can play Tarmogoyf, because Tarmogoyf is just so good in this matchup. I want to be able to play this Tarmogoyf through a Blood Moon. So this signals a very removal heavy hand. I think I'm gonna fetch basic Plains, play Stoneforge Mystic. It's gonna get killed. And then I'll play Blooming Marsh plus, and then Thoughtseize. I don't mind getting my Stoneforge Mystic killed. I'll just get a Sword of Pro Black here. Just so my Tornado doesn't get fatal pushed. You got it. So if they have Blood Moon, it's not the end of the world. They brought Lurrus back. That's great, because now we can Thoughtseize away. Thank you. If you have Blue Moon, you would have Blood Moon right there, so... Legion's End. So they have the Kolaghan's Command too. So I think we just play the Lurrus, or take the Lurrus, I mean. Yeah, the hand's pretty good. I kind of want to just take this Kolaghan's command. So then the Sword of Light and Shadow can take over. They can bauble. So us playing around Blood Moon really fucked us over because then now I can't draw a card with this Spell Bomb. But then we can like... But I don't even want to like exile right now because I want to exile with the Croxo. I think we just have to play the super long game and just take the Lurrus here. And just hold Spell Bomb this whole time. And I guess I can just play this Tarmogoyf. No, trading 1-for-1 doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't matter. So I can just... I'm trying to figure out if I want to play this Tarmogoyf or not. I think the answer is yes. Just to be more mana efficient, we can't just keep holding our stuff. So now they just have to rampage us, play Soulscar Mage maybe. They could also just Legions End too. We just gotta play our stuff out. Like we can't really not do anything. Ooh, sacrifice an artifact. Oh crap. I didn't exile it in response. Gosh darn it. I just let it go. Gosh darn it. That's really annoying. I want to not play this sword out though, because I don't want them to do like Lurrus plus or Kolaghan's command our sword, bring back Lurrus. That's just so bad for us. So I think we just have to just play this land and pass. They're gonna Legions enter Tarmogoyf. And at this point I think we just have to path. We probably can't path the Soulscar. We should have to path the Crops, I think, at this point. Sure. Oh man, mega yikes. Can I attack here? They block. They probably Kolaghan's command, bring back Lurrus. Me F6ing through that turn really screwed me over. I think I have to like crack this clearing. I don't think we can just play this sword out. Okay. So I'm not going to play the sword out because I don't want to get Kolaghan's command. They're kind of holding this Kolaghan's command for the sword. They kind of have to, which makes sense. Ugh. That's gross. I think I'm going to push. I'm going to push the Abbot here. Save 1 point of damage. Turn off, turn off, turn off. I want to path this. I I think at this point, like, I'm gonna save the 2 life is worth more than like the off chance they have bolt. That might be incorrect though. Yep, that's fair. Man, their hand was very good. They were very stocked. We kind of need an engineer's explosives here. Okay. Should have played this. I'm an idiot. I need the double white. So now, if they have... Well, that's annoying, because... How can we get out of this? Batterskull? Apparition. Yeah, no way out of this, because they're gonna just bring back Soulscar Major Abbott. That's unfortunate. I think Liliana's better on the play. Let's bring back another Liliana. Please don't F6 through the turn. That would be very helpful. Maybe we just board out the just one apparition on the play, or we just Luris. Maybe just board out one Luris. I think I like that. I think we just boarding out one Luris, swapping Luris for a Liliana play. I think I like that better. This hand's great. All the removal, but we kind of need a threat too. Sure. Which of the 4 removals would you like? I would assume you take the explosives, just because it's the 2-for-1, or potentially more than 2-for-1. Them knowing about the explosives hurts us. Excuse me. Fatal Push. You got it. Targeting me. Bold move, opponent. Bold move. Since I'm going to shuffle it away, so you get no information whatsoever. Should have done it on my upkeep, buddy. Tarmogoyf? Stoneforge Mystic? Tarmogoyf. What a pal Mr. Goyf is. Please don't have any fatal pushes in our opponent's hand. That would be fantastic. Just red removal would be great. Baubles. All the baubles. Thought sees me. Don't push me. Just thought sees me. Yes, thought sees me. Thank you. So you're going to take the explosives? Yeah, that makes sense. That all makes sense. So I love Goyf too. Just being able to survive Bolt is exactly what like Orzhov Stoneblade needs. Okay. Okay. Don't push my Goyf. Don't do it. Nice. I'm gonna play this tapped and pass the turn. So what's in their hand? Something that doesn't kill Goyf? I can see that too. Damn. Drew the push. So I feel like they have like a lightning bolt. So we just have all their removal too. How about we draw a threat here? No bueno. So we're in top deck war. We have 3 removal spells. They have 4 cards in hand, but a Luris as a companion, which is gross. So they're going to win the card advantage race here. We needed a spell bomb off the top at that point. Path this now. And then we have to ditch the trophy. Spellbomb would be great here. Yeah, that makes sense. I think I agree with you. Maybe taking out Apparition is correct. Good. That was great. I'm gonna hold this fetch so I can push the Luris if I need to. Kind of want to get a Batter Skull here. Just so I have a threat. Nah, it's probably correct just to get the sword with the Lightning Shadow. It's probably correct just to get sword with Lightning Shadow. Swiss Sphere, sure. Shitty thing is I have to just let this Swiss Sphere go. Oh, okay, you're gonna cling. Sure. Because I'm gonna have to hold this push for the Luris. Yeah, sure. Like, I just have to take this Swiss Sphere to the chin. Oh. If we have a discard spell off the top, that'd be good. Spellbomb would be good too. Discard spell. Maybe I should save their discard spell in case they want to bring the Luris back to hand. Hard to say. Don't think we can play this sword out either. I think this is where the tables are turning, and I don't think we have any outs here. Like, I think they just have more actual cards than us. Yeah, they just have the better late game than we do right now, which is annoying. Because, like, even if you Liliana right here, they just, like... They can Luris, bring back the Swiss Sphere, attack the Liliana. I think I just have to wait. I think I just play this Sword of Light and Shadow out now. And then we can push the Luris when they play it. And then the next turn, hopefully they don't draw another creature. And then we can push the Luris, Liliana minus the Swiss Sphere. And then hopefully that takes over the game. Damn. What a draw. We can't Liliana them because they're just going to bring it back, so we'll just do this. That's really annoying. So they play Luris. So this opens the avenue of us drawing another a removal spell, and we can kill the Luris. We need a removal spell right now, and we have a shot. If we don't have a removal spell, then we might as well just concede. We need to draw Liliana that turn. That's annoying. That Luris as a companion really cost us there too. And they just had like all the discard in the beginning. We had a great hand, and then it didn't matter because they just discarded us. Unfortunate. It's like just a pure mid-range match, right? Like just 50-50. And they just have a good late game. Like I think it is correct that, or incorrect that I boarded out the Lurrus and kept in the 2 apparitions. It's probably better just to board out the apparition and keep in the Lurrus. Because then that way, like, we have our way of recurring card advantage too. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, that's kind of how it goes with these mid-range mirrors too. It's just like, you just draw better than your opponent. And that game 2 hand our opponent had was just absurd. Unbelievable how great that hand was that our opponent had. It's just like, a lot of the cards just are 2-for-1s too, you know? Like Croxa is just like, you just 2-for-1 then call against command. Lurrus with Bobble, just... Sometimes they just can overwhelm us too, which is annoying, but that's just how Magic is sometimes. Hopefully I can finish the league off at 3-2. Keep this. I'll leave it a fetch, just in case opponent is just playing some Blood Moon shenanigans. I believe with Basic Forest, I'm definitely going to play Tarmogoyf. And to think that for a second there, you're 4 in mana, we're playing actual. Why do you have to be mean like that, Francisco? Why do you gotta be like that? So we're against Black Red Prowess again? Probably. It's funny because literally every time I stream Gruul, literally every time, like, someone would come in a chat and be like, wait, you're not playing BGX anymore? And I'm like, yeah, I'm playing, you know, I'm actually trying to spike the super Q here. Like, but that's life when you are associated with a deck, right? I'm sure when you don't play Amulet or Titan Vow, people are like, oh, why aren't you playing Amulet or Titan Vow? I'm sure you get that a lot too, Francisco. Okay. I'm going to take this Veil. That makes me regret not playing this Tarmogoyf. I was hoping to hit a Fatal Push here to protect the Goyf. So now they're going to play Ren in 6, which is fine. Because, like, we can play the Goyf. They go to 4. So they need to draw a removal spell for the Tarmogoyf to protect their Ren. Good old John, huh? Which is fine because they already have all the lands. Doesn't matter. So we can crack back with the Goyf. Okay. Hopefully they didn't draw anything relevant here. No Liliana. Interesting that they take the Skyclave Apparition, since they have the Bolt. This is not Titan as one of the probably most things typed in the chat. I would assume so. There should be like that should be a drinking game. Every time someone says that, like, it's just, everyone should take a shot. You just gotta hope they don't have Liliana here. Or a Fatal Push. I need them to play their own Tarmogoyf or their own Scavenging Ooze, whatever. And then I can push it and then this Goyf gets big. Hopefully enough to kill Ren. Please don't Liliana me. They're taking a lot of damage from their fetch lines too. Oh, they're gonna double bolt our Goyf? Dang. So it is. So we know 3 of the 4 cards. Blackleaf plus another just unuseful Ren in 6. This Liliana is pretty bad. Because they can just discard the land and we have to discard these cards. That could potentially be very good. I kind of want to hold this Veil here. And then just probably have to trophy the Renin 6 end of turn. Feels bad. This is where Apparition would have been gas. Because we can just kill the Renin 6 and then like either push or Liliana the token. I don't think we can Liliana plus. And it's like if they... And I don't think there's a point in trophying the Renin 6 right now. Apparition seems decent Titan Battle too. Just again, it's just a versatile removal spell in mid-rangey decks, right? And I would classify Titan Battle as a mid-range deck, so it just makes sense. I like it. There it is. I guess I trophy the Ren here. And then we can just Liliana them. Yeah, and then Violet in with the trigger on the stack. That's pretty sweet. Arrow's so dumb, though. Path is a great draw. But again, like we need a way to kill the second Renin 6, which is unfortunate. Sure. Just gonna have 6-2 this turn. Them having the second Renin 6 is pretty piss poor. Like I was hoping I'd draw a discard spell so I can like trophy Renin 6 and then Inquisition the other. But that was not the case. Hopefully they just go like double threat or something just to pressure Liliana. Probably just play Renin 6 though. Just based on what their hand is and what I've seen. Mega yikes. Let's see, that's really annoying because now they can take the path before we can path the Bloodbraid Elf. That's actually really kind of annoying. What? That is entirely incorrect. This set could beat Jund. I mean, it's just a mid-range fest, as usual. And if our opponent plays this bad, we also have a chance to. Like, we just protect this Liliana here. Because now this Liliana can kind of... Oh, I guess they can Renin 6 and kill it down, but... Yeah, they have BB. It's definitely not... It's definitely unfavored, but I don't think it's unwinnable. Don't have a removal spell, opponent. Don't have a removal spell, please. Just don't have anything. Yeah, you're right, but I mean, on the other hand, like we also have our inherent 2/4/1s too, and like if we have an unmolested lures, we can take over the game too. So, oh gosh. Maelstrom Pulse is like the uber boomer card. Okay. Okay. One card in hand is probably a land. Probably get Sword of Feast and Famine at this point. Just so it can like protect it. Yeah, I think I like Feast and Famine here. Just so it can survive Bolt and Push if I draw a land next turn. I don't think Sophie's better because they have Push. If they have Push or Trophy, then I guess if they would Trophy the equipment, but like I think Feast and Famine is better just because it gives protection to our like if we equip a Sword of Feast and Famine to our Stoneforge Mystic, it doesn't die to Bolt or Push. Just have lands. I mean, yeah, I can see that argument too, but like we also need to end the game faster now. I mean, it can also just not matter here. It can just not matter. or a joined opponent can just draw Kolaghan's Command. That being said, we're not doing that bad. If we draw push off this clearing and then a Batter Skull, we can play the Batter Skull and then push the Skoos. Okay, that was probably the worst draw possible. Oh my god. I don't think that's necessarily true. Discard spell deck. I think we just need them to flood. Lingering Souls. Lingering Souls would be so bad here. It would not be that great. I kind of need this Snowforest Mystic to live. About to pack it in, boys. About to pack it in. Abzan is bad, but it's so good at the same time, is it not? We just need a removal spell, and we're kind of back in it. Hey! All Inquisitions. I kind of, you know what really sweet is? If I had a Batter Skull and I can ambush this Scavenging Ooze, that would just be fantastic. So Batter Skull off the top here would be absolutely great. Batter Skull. Let's Inquisition here, just to make sure they don't have... Like, I can see them just saving removal and not killing the Stoneforge Mystic. Yeah, exactly. And then we're going to play this Tarmogoyf. Francisco, why do you just like to hurt me? Why do you do such things? This is such a boomer battle, though. Look at this. This is Ooze versus Tarmogoyf, huh? Not an intervention. Definitely not an intervention. So they have 4 green mana. They can exile a Planeswalker, so it shrinks our Goyf down to 3. So we have to take this. Our only way of winning is just to take this. There's no creatures in the graveyard. So we are not dead. We just need to draw a removal spell, or they can just draw Bolt or Kolaghan's Command. Oh god. Alrighty, let's just ignore that game. Play some Gideons. Storyline Shadow over Fire and Ice, I think. Engineer Explosive seems decent. Kai's Guile probably has another Edict effect. I'm gonna probably keep in the Thought Seizes, or the Inquisitions, pour out the Thought Seizes. Maybe just board out the Spell Bombs, because we're gonna board in Kai's Guiles. Unfortunate turn to events. Maybe we just board out the Skyclave Apparition too, just because like it doesn't really net any card advantage. It does answer Ren 6 though. Maybe we just board out one of the... no, the Leon's really going to play. On the draw, I might board out the Leon. Maybe it's one of those situations where we board out our Apparition on the play, and then on the draw, board out the Leon or the Veil. Let's do something like that. Unfortunate. Inquisitions don't fail me now. Sure. Probably 1-6. That's a great start. I kind of want to draw lands here, so I'm going to bobble myself. Specifically white sources ring of this Gideon. Lay Down the Veil is an exception, though. Lay Down the Veil on the play is absolute gasoline. Croxa, Clothis, Tarmogoyf. Can't beat Clothis, so yoink. So hopefully we draw a third land, either one of the 2 turns here. Get a Godless Shrine. I'm gonna get a I'm gonna get a Batter Skull here actually. Because if I get a sword, it's like I can't really threaten anything. Make them have their removal spell. Yeah, but who's the best modern streamer in the Modern Streamers League? It's definitely not Francisco, let's be real here. Kind of sad to say, I kind of just have to take this Gideon. It's like not castable at all. Or I mean, yeah, it's just the card that we just are so far from casting. Sad as that is. Land, please. What's gonna suck is if they drew literally Kolaghan's Command, we're kind of screwed. I could just play this Tarmogoyf, but I kind of just want to get this Batter Skull into play. Like maybe the correct play is just to play Tarmogoyf just to play around Kolaghan's Command. Sure. You have a big boy Goyf. Inquisition is a decent draw. Oh, take the Croxa, sure. So they just have... They can escape Croxa, which is kind of annoying. But then if we draw a third land, we can... Liliana the Croxa away. So I'll probably just pitch the Stoneforge Mystic. And then we just play the Tarmogoyf if we don't draw a third land. Scar still is 6/7, so it just stonewalls his Croxa. I think we discard the sword, which kind of sucks. I think we play this Tarmogoyf. I think we just have to pitch the Liliana. Depending on what they do here. So they have Forest Unknown. That was good for us. Land. I think I attack here, actually. Force the issue. Because if we have a push, they would have just pushed the Tarmogoyf. I'm gonna draw. I'm gonna look up at the top of the deck. I understand they can fetch us away. Okay. Hopefully they fetch that away. Sweet. So now they have Takrith Croxa. We just sword equip. Just discard the Liliana. Or whatever this card is. This is fine. I mean, we lost to Blue Soup and Black Red Prowess. I mean, I think that's just the nature of it. I think the deck is fine. It's not like super powerful, but I don't think the deck is bad either. Like I think I honestly punted my game against Blue Soup, which is kind of annoying, but it's just Magic sometimes. Okay. Okay. This is exactly what I wanted to happen. And then I'll attack with the Tarmogoyf, and then they have to... I can actually attack with the Stoneforge Mystic too. They have to block the Tarmogoyf. So they are far from escaping Croxa. They have a redraw with a Peatland. Never heard the term punting before. Is that just a tragic? Yes, that is the correct assessment of that term. Okay. Okay. That kind of does nothing. We have Liliana. Luckily, we don't have Hex Triggers or Dark Confidants or anything on our list, so we're not just going to totally fold to this. Opponent, you're dead. Please just pass the turn. You are dead. You are dead. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter which creature you uptick. You are dead. Dead Areno. Cool. Okay. I think we just run it back. I just run it back. I mean, Kaya Scout is kind of just okay. Maybe we just want Thoughtseizes on the draw. I mean, it's like sack a dude, make a 1/1. It's actually pretty relevant. But maybe we want more discard on the play. So maybe we just cut the apparition for a Thoughtseize or something. I just roll this. Mulliganing against Jund is awful, but we already have Batterskull in hand, it's kind of a mulligan. Our opponent also mulligan to 6. Yeah, all the... just absolutely nothing. If they have a discard spell and they take Turbogoyf, that's just all the feel bads. Sassacre too much of a Namba with Lurrus and Goyf. It's one of those things where like I think Tassiger is really really good. It's just like how much do you really want to lean on the graveyard and how much do you want to just fold to Yard Hate? Because like a rip means Tassiger is just like almost uncastable at that point, right? So. So they didn't have a discard spell. We didn't see any discard spells game 2. So Stoneforge like definitely helps that. Like just having a Tarmogoyf equipped with a sword is just so good. I think I'm gonna just hang tight here. I don't want to. If they have a discard spell, they take my Tarmogoyf and then. I have some of those Seizure and Defensa. I mean, those two cards just aren't good enough in Modern anymore, sad to say. Tarmogoyf, sure. So now we definitely need a removal spell. What's on top? Tarmogoyf. I don't think I want Tarmogoyf. I think I actually want more removal or interaction. So let's just fetch that away. Because worst case scenario, we can always wobble ourselves next turn. If they have Liliana, that's really bad. Elder Gargoth ain't bad. I could have Elder Gargoth over Gideon if I really wanted to. Maybe I should have cracked the Elder Bubble as at another draw. Yeah, sure. I kind of want to just play the Inquisition, to be honest. You would take a shit ton of damage from this Tarmogoyf, though. I just don't want to get veiled. So I think we just cast his Inquisition. We just take a hit off this Tarmogoyf. Kolaghan's Command, Clothis. Well, we're going to take the card that we can't answer. This Tarmogoyf is absolutely huge now, which is unfortunate. So I'm going to ball myself at end of turn. They could also just Clothis, Kolaghan's Command the Clothis back too, which is annoying, but if we draw our own Liliana, that'd be very good. Now we need a removal spell. Thoughtseize is not going to cut it. I guess Thoughtseize does cut it because I could just Thoughtseize the Fatal Push and then play my own Tarmogoyf. Yeah, so let's Thoughtseize. Probably have to take the Kolaghan's Command if anything. Sure. Sadly, I think we just have to pitch the sword. We just need our cards to actually do stuff right now. Just take the Clothis. We're gonna take a huge hit. But we can stabilize here. We can go EE on 2 next turn after they push our Tarmogoyf, and then we can hopefully take over the game there. Oh, they have Liliana? No way. Oh my god. Damn it. No, because they have the... Because we can just EE this turn. It's just unfortunate they have Liliana, to be honest. Damn it. Top deck war. Good old top deck war. Bitter Blossom. Wow. Oh, I shouldn't have cracked that turn. No, it didn't matter. That was a punt. That was a punt. Why did I crack that Pelion? I'm just so dumb. There's no point in me. I mean, I guess I wanted a threat, but like, that was just really bad on my part. I guess our opponent's in kind of the same situation here, where I think they should have waited until end step of the opponent's turn. How's it going, Spider? Golly. Wow, exactly why I think they should have just waited. They got punished for not playing that land right, and we didn't get punished for it. The thing is, if we get Luris, if we top deck Luris, we're actually alive. Ugh. Ugh, ugh, ugh. We're actually dead if we draw Luris now. Oh, we can just draw lands. That's fine. That is fine. Be that way. Be that way. 2-3. Not the best of leagues. We beat 8 rack, and we beat. Oh gosh, getting old. Oh my god, what was the first match that we beat? Da, 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 da. Goodness gracious, what was our first match? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We lost to Jund, Blue Soup, and Black Red Prowess. We beat 8 rack and... Oh, Belcher. It was Belcher. I always remember right before they played the first hand, I was just like, oh, there he goes. So we beat Belcher, we beat 8 rack, we lost to Blue Soup, Black Red Prowess, and Jund. So we're losing these mid-range mirrors. Maybe I need to like go back to the... I feel like the most common stuff already. People are running Cyber main Riki for the mirror. And I'm like, like, is this what I want? Hey, that's what happens when you become tier 1. Honestly, being tier 1 is very, very, very overrated, because then you just have a target on your head. Because honestly, like, I don't like it when Stoneforge Mystic decks get a target on their head, because then people start running like Smash or Smithereens in the sideboard of burn decks, and just like Menriki, whatever, the one that if you unequip and destroy target artifact, it's just like, what is going on here? You know? So I think I have to go back to the drawing board. Maybe the Gideon did win us the match against Blue Soup, but maybe we just want one, and then the other one can be like Auriac champion or something against like Jund that they just like cannot kill, and we can just equip it with a sword. I think that's where we have to be. I could also just have an Auriac champion over a Damping Sphere too. I kind of still want the land hate though. Maybe I just want the Auriac champion over like one Gideon or something, or one Kaya's Gal or something like that. Mirran Crusader is also an interesting one. Oh, I do like Mirran Crusader. With the equipment too, that would be very, very interesting. We do have enough white sources too. You're just gonna slowly start suggesting more mono white cards, and then eventually I'm gonna start playing taxes. I think that's your subtle plan, huh, Spider? Yeah, I know. It's the card. Like, so I played with a lot of Stoneforge Mystic and Legacy, and it's just one of those things where like I couldn't support double white because of Lingering Souls. Because of Liliana, right? Roundsley, thanks for the cheer. Really appreciate it. Makes me feel better about this 2-3 league. Thanks for the support as always. I really, really appreciate it. Um, but yeah, so when I played Stoneforge Mystic and Legacy before it was unbanned and modern, like I just never had a chance to play Mirror's Crusader with it, just because double white is really hard in a deck with double black. And then you just want to have as much basic as possible in the format at the time, so it's like because you don't want to get wastelanded out of the game, so you can't really afford double black and double white. So double plains and double swamp. That being said, this mana base can probably support it. Like I'm playing Skyclave Apparition, I could probably play Mirror Crusader or Ariok Champion, depending on the meta. I think if there's a lot more Blackbird prowess, I think Ariok Champion might be better. But um, against Jund, like Mirror Crusader is also pretty good. This doesn't have protection from red though, so I feel like Ariok Champion is probably better right now. So is there really no good 4-drops for Abzan? The thing about it is I don't even want 4-drops in the deck. The Gideons are only here just because of just mid-range mirrors, and I'll easily just substitute with anything else. I think we're at the stage of the format where like we kind of have to go under these blue decks. That's why it's like Luris with like Stoneforge Mystic and Tarmogoyf. I think we have to go lower because anything with 4-drop and above, like you're competing with Omnath and Uro, and you just can't compete there. Like there's nothing in our colors that keep up with that kind of value train. Like I know everyone's suggesting Siege Around and Offense and stuff, but like those cards sadly aren't good enough. Like Tarmogoyf is good just because it survives Bolt. Stoneforge Mystic gives our creatures protection with the equipment, and then is inherent card advantage, and then we kind of just have to lean on that. And then Luris is just inherent card advantage too. There's no 4-drop that's just like really, really, really good, other than kind of like Gideon, really, to be honest. And it's more of a sideboard card if anything. I think this deck just needs a little more rep, if anything. I think honestly we could have gone 3-2. I did definitely punt a game against Blue Soup, where I could have equipped the sword to my Tarmogoyf and attacked and got a trigger, and that could have changed the whole complexion of the game because they would have discarded 2-3 cards. We could have gone 3-2 potentially. Ramazan, thank you for the follow. Really, really appreciate it. Really appreciate the support. Thank you so much. I think in some it's like maybe I need to cut these lithoform blights because there isn't that much Tron. Tron kind of got pushed out of the meta because of all the Black-Red Prowess decks, right? So it's like I kind of want to maybe I can cut this for an Ariak Champion or something like that. Like I don't think we need this much land hate right now against Tron. Their Tron is kind of non-existent. Is Manic Spellbomb good? So the backbone of like the thought process of Manic Spellbomb is when we're black green X, we have Scavenging Ooze, right? And we had Hexdrinker because I love going turn 4 Luris, bring back a 1-drop if Bobble is in the graveyard. So previously I had Hexdrinker, right? So I felt like 2 Hexdrinker felt really, really good with that build because going Luris plus Hexdrinker is like deal with the Luris, and I have a 4/4 protection from instants, and it's just a Progenitus. That feels really good. But now that we're shifting towards like a black-white skeleton, we can't support Scavenging Ooze, and I don't want Hexdrinker. And we kind of need the Yard Hate in the main deck, and Spell Bombs kind of provide that Bobble 5-6 feel, copies 5-6, where like I can just bring back a Spell Bomb and just constantly draw cards off that way if this Luris is unmolested. So the Spell Bombs have been very, very good in the main deck, and just against Uro, against like the Luris with Black Red Shadow, like the main deck Spell Bombs is also just a great meta call, but the Luris also increases the floor of the main deck Spell Bombs, so they feel pretty good. I haven't drawn it against like the last stream I had against Dredge. At any point I could have drawn my main deck Spellbomb game 1 and it just never happened. But that's the case, right? Like sometimes you don't draw. But I think as if you look at it this way where there's like Baubles copies 5-6, I think that's where it's like, oh okay, that's actually pretty good. On top of there's a lot of Uro and Lurrus in the format, right? So Spellbound main deck's pretty good, and on top of that, it opens up a lot of cyber saves in the sideboard. In the sideboard, so it's Tron Bad versus Blackrock Prowess. It's super mid rangey. You know, I'm not sure you need G. So the green splash is really, if you really look at it, is just for Tarmogoyf. Because if you look at the Orzhov Stoneblade list that won the Modern Challenge, the threats are like Stoneforge Mystic, Tide Hollow Scholar, Skyclave Apparition. It's like they're all 2/2s. There's no real like turn 2 a card that survives Bolt and is a quick clock. And with Mishra's Bauble, Tarmogoyf is a 5/6 more often than not. And the clock is just so quick. Against the Blue Suit Game 3, I kept a 1-lander on the draw with a Bauble and a couple of discard spells. So I think that's a slam keep anyway. If I had drawn the green source on turn 2, I would have just played the Tarmogoyf and just won the game there. It would have been an easy win there. So like those are the type of games where it's just so close. Scourge isn't a turn 2 play, right? Scourge is not a turn 2 play. I think Scourge is only good in Bolt decks and haste threats, because like honestly, if you play against a deck that like doesn't take damage from the mana base, like Merfolk, Tron, etc., mono white taxes, for example, you're never able to cast Scourge because you need you need their opponent's Lacto to go down. So I think a lot of people like jamming Scourge as like into a lot of mid range just because it goes so big late game, but like in the early game it just isn't good enough because you can't cast it on turn 2 reliably. I think the shell is fine, honestly. I think it's just one of those things where like I just have to tune the sideboard a little bit. Because I honestly kind of just threw the sideboard together the last stream. I kind of just wanted Gideon just because as of a nostalgic value. But I think if I really want to beat the meta, I mean, honestly, Auric Champions I think are a great meta card right now. Just so much Blackrock Prowess, splash damage against Jund, and those are the two matchups that we lost against, and we lost against Blue Suit. So against Blue Suit, maybe I think the matchup's like really bad. I don't want to Warp Bridge sideboard against it too much. And even then, we have 2 Ashok, 2 Giles, 2 Gideons, a Gaddock Teague. So it's like we have 2 Lithophone Blight sideboard in. We board in like 10 cards. So it's like I don't think I need anything more. And matchup isn't really fixable from their sideboard. So maybe we should just focus on Blackrock Prowess. In which case we just have 1 Auriok champion. I think we just go like that. Cletus is okay. I think it just depends on what you're trying to target. Like if there's a lot of like Cletus is really only good against Dredge and like kind of like Jund if you can back it up with removal. I don't, and it's like if you can slam a Cletus before Uro goes into play, before Uro is cast for 3, then Cletus can get there. But the fact that it costs 4, so even on the play, it's just slow against your opponent just casting an Uro. Like Cletus doesn't do anything with an Uro already in the graveyard. So I don't really like Cletus right now. I like Cletus a lot when like you really need your 4 drops to get value immediately, like a Gideon. You make a 2/2 immediately. You need to get your value right away, or you're just kind of screwed. And like Cletus is kind of a better like turn 5 play where you go Cletus plus push. What's your opinion on Mainboard Lion Shadow right now? I've been thinking about trying it in Naya for the red-black matchup. I mean, I have Feast and Famine. And I like Feast and Famine better because of all the combo, like against Belcher, like in Nauseam. I think for your Naya deck that you've been playing, just against like combo, I feel like combo is pretty poor for you. So I feel like you'd want this sort of Feast and Famine main deck. Honestly, I've been a fan of just having 4 equipment in the 75, 2 swords and 1 Batterskull in the main, and having the sword in the side. I honestly think feels really good because like there's a lot of configurations where like I just swap 1 for 1 of the swords for the Lion Shadow, and it just feels really good. Against like Blue Soup, right? Like you keep the 2, but like it's like Jund or something, you can board out Sword and Fire and Ice and swap for Lion Shadow, and then you have pro black everything. Doesn't make sense to me. I like it because it gives you options in terms of like the protection. So Apparition's been okay. The more I play with the card, I think 2 is the correct number. I know a lot of people were high on it last stream and they're like, oh, we should go up to 3, cut a Lurrus. But I think Lurrus is the backbone of the deck, and I think 2 is kind of the correct number, especially because we already have Trophy in our colors. I think if for black-white, like without green, and you don't have access to Trophy, 4 is probably the better number, but since we do have access to the Trophy, I think 2 is fine. That's how I felt too. It's slow speaking on this, but yeah. I mean, you can't really be too results oriented. That's where you kind of just have to have a bigger sample size. I do think that I do have a naked spot against like Black Red Prowess. Um, I do have to concede that. So it's like as a mid range, I get the adapt to the meta, right? And I kind of just threw these cards together, just cards I like. Like I think the 2 Gideons, the Damping Sphere, and the 3 Lithoform Blight are kind of just. Well, Gideons were kind of again like nostalgic value. Like, oh, I just want a mid range deck. Just I haven't played Gideon in a while, and I finally have the ability to support the double white. Um, and there hasn't been a lot of Tron, so I think this can go down to 2. And cut the Damping Sphere for 2 Ariak champions, and I think that's very sufficient. You just can't out mid-range Black Red. I think we can. I think we can. I mean, like, Lurrus is easily answerable. We already have the Yard Hate and everything, and it's just an attrition match. And Ariak champion honestly is really, really good. Just like, it just stonewalls the whole team, and the life gain is huge. Gets you out of bolt range and everything. I honestly think we can out mid-range Black Red. Especially with the swords too. The swords just give us a lot of utility. I don't think anything wrong in the matchup. I think it's just one of those things where it's just so prevalent online that like it's like I would say it's pretty even. As in every mid range mirror. So it's like why not hedge points against it if you're gonna. I've like the past like 4 leagues I've played against it every league. So it's like, why not just hedge percentage points against it? Because it's probably the best deck, the more popular deck right now. So it's like, let's just gear towards it, right? Get those, make a 50%, 55% matchup to like a 65-70, right? I think that's kind of why you just have to adapt, and it's kind of hard to play this deck because it's not proactive at all. It's very reactive, and you really have to change your sideboard cards literally at pretty much every league just to accommodate. I also like Maul over Sword and Fire and Ice. I tested Maul. And there's a lot of situations where like Maul is good, and those situations are only when the first strike matters. Often not when like the protection you just need protection from whatever and you're fine. But against specifically Tron, like having your Batterskull or your Timberwolves carry a Maul and stealing a Wormcoil actually is huge. But other than that, I feel like I think I had like a brief Twitter thread with Spider where we were talking about Maul. And I think Maul is really only good when you run like over 20 creatures, death and taxes, right? Because that way you can just equip anything and you attack. A lot of times in these, like when this deck, you kind of want to keep the board clear. You're kind of the control deck in a lot of matchups. And you don't have a creature and you have Maul in hand. And you're like, okay, well that kind of sucks, right? Because this Maul does nothing, and you don't want to play it out like a sword because it's it's mana efficient. It's more mana efficient to keep it in hand, and with the Liliana, like you can't really keep things in hand. You want to play it in your hand, and it's very awkward. I've been working on a modern Nightfall deck. Yeah, send me. We can talk about it. We can talk about it on the Discord. Definitely interested because I know I've been tuning into your streams. I don't think I've been chatting as much, but I've noticed you've been playing a lot of your Night deck. I know you added the Stoneforge Mystic back into your Nihilist, and I was interested in that. And I think you play in the Challenge or something. I tuned in for a little bit. It made me happy because I think Stoneforge Mystic is just really fun. It makes me. I was actually really bummed you took Stoneforge Mystic out of your Naya deck, Chris. I keep thinking Maul has Flash. I wish it had Flash. If it had Flash, it'd be sweet. We get to Flicker Maul to reset its main skull. Yeah, exactly. I think Maul is just so much better in a deck with like Flicker Wiz, obviously, and Ether Out, right? Makes sense. I mean, I built enough Lego for him, but that doesn't make it good. I mean, I voted with this exact list, and I got posted today. It doesn't make it good, but it's definitely fun. That's the case here. A lot of chats. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Chris, you can post your link, and I'll take a look at it. But for now, Chris, if you don't post your list in the next minute or two, I'm going to raid my boy Andrea. He's playing some Pauper. He's a good guy. Send some love his way. Sweet. I see you. We can talk about the Stream Decker for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to raid Capullo. Birds of Paradise. Scavenging Ooze. Skyclave. Yeah, it seems decent. 2 Uro. So you have the retreat combo in there. I was going to ask. I was like, I see Netherrail Quarry. Is there a retreat in the hand? It's like, awesome. Spider's... You're so fucked up, dude. Spider's so dumb. Poor Andrea. don't talk shit about my boy. He's a beautiful, beautiful man, Spider. Just because you have better hair than Reed Duke doesn't mean you can give you can give Andrea shit. Eats for breakfast. Yeah, I mean it's a great meta call if it beats Black Red. Um, I just love Stone Flavor 6. Skyclave Apparition is really good. I love Gavany Township too. Gavany Township's so good. That's the card I kind of miss in my Abzan list. I wish I could support it, to be honest, but it's just too color intensive. Double black, double white, and scavenging is just too hard too. So, but yeah, I really appreciate everyone for tuning in. I'm gonna take off now. I put in field in the deck too because why not? I mean, against Belcher, it's relevant. I did see a ghost quarter too. So like, if you just want to beat Belcher and just wasteland, that makes sense. Oh fuck Green Tron. Green Tron can just. And I'm assuming you don't have any disdainful strokes or anything. Yeah, I mean you have one damping sphere. It's like it's not enough. Yeah. Oh, Field of the Dead. 23 lands with Field of the Dead? I don't know about that, man. That's kind of loose. I don't know. That I think you should change to a colored source, probably another fetch. But I'm a super stickler about like colored sources. Like, I mean, you saw me when I played Pawns. Like, I always had the 21st land just because I wanted the mana requirements. And it's like I'm super like this mana base. I spent like hours on it just to make sure I have the number of requisite like colored sources just to meet all the color requirements, right? So it did win me the. It wins you. Okay, so every game that it wins you the game, let's keep track of that. And every time you top deck it and it's not a colored source, keep track of that too, or it's a come into play tap land. Keep that in mind. Keep track of that for me, Chris, and then we'll talk about it later. Alrighty, enough talking. I'm tired. I'm ready to go to bed. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you guys want to support the channel, you guys can follow me on Twitch. If you guys want to check out my old Abzan content, you guys can watch me on YouTube, youtube.com/KODiamonds, and then you guys can follow me on Twitter for up-to-date streams. It's twitter.com/KODiamonds22 at the end of it. El Rodeo Sand, thank you for the follow. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Other than that, I'm going to try the next stream's probably either Saturday or Sunday. I haven't figured it out yet. So again, follow me on Twitter. That's when I'll post when I'll be streaming next. Other than that, enjoy Andrea. He's a great streamer. He's a great guy. He's a beautiful, beautiful man. He's way better looking than Spider Space. Take care, guys. Bye.